And perimenopause affects your insulin sensitivity. So over time, a lot of women who are going through perimenopause or menopause are going to notice that your blood sugar levels, when you test them, you're going to start noticing that they're all over the place. So I started doing to help it out, and I've noticed the numbers really go from the first time I started, like my fasting blood sugar was at like 1 or something, 102, 111, 112, and all that stuff. And now I'm kind of able to get under 100 every time. So the first thing I did was mindful eating. You're going to hear fiber, protein, and fats over and over. I know it's hard at first to start eating well, but when you're eating, try to mix this stuff up. So rice, for example, I love rice. I would eat rice. I would put a veggie like a broccoli, and then I would do a chicken, and then switch the order. Order of eating matters. It helps buffer out the sugar spikes. So I started doing that often. At first, it wasn't easy because I would grab that cookie or I grab that muffin. It's hard. It's still work in progress, but for me, it's all about trying to change it where it's a lifestyle, where I'm not feeling like I'm going cold turkey, I'm starving myself, I'm having the cravings, you know. I'm slowly trying to transition in just to eating better. The next thing I did is moving. Move anywhere that you can, especially after meals. Moving like in the evenings before you're, like 7 after you're done with dinner. Try to move around and do at least 15 to 20 minutes. If it's not possible, there's an exercise that I learned that you can do when you're sitting down to help with your blood sugar levels. So that has really helped. So I'm moving more, and I'm also using dumbbells and stuff like that. Weightlifting is encouraged. I'm just doing, a little bit right now. You losing about 10% of your body weight can drastically lower your blood sugar levels. I'm still in the process of that. That's going to be a whole nother thing. Getting less sugary drinks and more water. I know you hear a lot of people always tell you, drink more water. For me, it was a struggle. So I started just doing Diet Coke. And sometimes I would have a sugar-free Red Bull. These are not good. I'm not saying they're better, but they did help me in kind of slowly getting me away from drinking soda. So now I feel like I'm not completely like, I need a soda. As I was checking my blood sugar levels daily, I started noticing what foods would really trigger it. So, for example, having a muffin really messed me up, for example, in the morning. Eating a cookie or two midday really did it, okay? So when I started noticing this, I started eliminating some of this stuff out, and I noticed that my numbers were always really good. So every time I woke up, I know that this is something that's very doable and something that you can really help. Before you get to that pre-diabetic diagnosis, you can definitely start doing all this stuff to try to help that. The last thing I did was not eating late. Make sure you finish eating by 6 to 7. 8 is really pushing it, but for me, 8 was like my last. And every time I did that, I noticed that when I woke up, my blood sugar levels were really great. The other thing was drinking hibiscus tea morning and night. Hibiscus tea lowers blood pressure and also helps with sugar levels. These two working together have helped so much.